Good morning, Dr. Gary on the road. We are dental practice brokers, and we're now nationwide. Today's topic is integrity with the DSOs. We just had a circumstance in the last month that the real integrity and the real quality of really great DSOs, dental services organization, corporate dentistry, they really stepped up to the plate, and two companies I was very impressed with. And I want to talk about that. But the name of the topic is integrity of the DSOs. So we are dental practice brokers nationwide. We're now in 19 states. We have 8 employees, soon to be 10. And we work 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. And besides that, we answer the phone every day from 7:30 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. Call us. If you're a seller, we're here to help you, or a buyer, we'll give you advice. If you're a seller, you want to sell to the DSOs, let us know, because we don't charge a commission to the seller for the DSOs, and we will often, based on criteria, get your legal fees reimbursed at closing. So give us a call, and we'll help you out. Our number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com. Please call us and we can have a great chat. Anyway, so today's topic is about integrity of some DSOs I work with. Recently, we had a great deal, and we were about 1 month away from, it was a big deal. Multiple offices, a few $1 million were involved. And we were coming down the home stretch to go to the closing table. 1 month before the closing, we hit a huge roadblock. Let's call it a legal roadblock. It was huge. And it was, we didn't even know if the deal was going to go forward. The attorneys definitely called me. We're very concerned. This will affect whether we don't know if we can close or not because of this. The one DSO stepped up to the plate. So this is a DSO under pressure. I saw them stepped up to the plate, and while this was a larger deal, and because there was some legal issues surrounding some of the practices, the DSO, their integrity came through, and they made a very wise decision and kept the deal going forward. Whereas some other DSOs may have walked away when they hit this major legal roadblock. But this one DSO, and again, I don't want to talk about specific ones. Talk to me about that privately, because we're independent. We don't, we're not hired by anybody, and we make our own decisions on every single deal. But this one DSO stepped up to the plate. We carved out the bad part of the deal, if you want to call it. Let the doctor keep the few practices that had some legal issues involved with it, and it still worked out for everybody. A lot of the DSOs would walk away. These are things we know about these companies that you don't know about. You don't read about it. It's not in their pro forma. It's not in their guidelines, their advertising, their website. There's stuff that we know when the going gets tough, they step up to the plate. And these fellows really did step up to the plate. And then it happened again this week, where we had a letter of intent which was delivered, and then suddenly they all knew that we hadn't figured the lease out yet. So we're working on the lease, and then something happened with the lease which we didn't anticipate, and the buyers didn't anticipate that was going to happen, and it was a problem because the lease was going to go way up and so forth. And it was going to affect the deal. It could affect the net cash flow of the deal. So the buyers, once again, a DSO group, stepped up to the plate, and they did it in such a way that we managed they had to alter the letter of intent somewhat, because generally you don't alter letters of intent once you give them in. You negotiate them when you go to contract, but when you hand them in initially, you don't negotiate them immediately. But you do review the whole document. But if something happens right after the letter of intent was delivered that would have a big economic effect, and this is something the buyer didn't know about, yeah, under those circumstances, you could rework the letter of intent, talk to the seller and say, look, we had no idea this was going to happen, nor did we anticipate. It's almost like getting a fire in the dental office. What do you do? So one of those type of things. But this other DSO, they stepped up to the plate. They managed to work the deal properly so it was fair and all, and still taking into consideration the excess overhead they were going to have. So we negotiated a very fair thing. And it wasn't just about negotiating a contract. It was negotiating something that happened with right after the letter of intent with the lease, and it was a big problem. It was going to add to their overhead. But they stepped up to the plate. They didn't walk away. They kept the seller happy, buyers happy, sellers happy, and they did it. Again, we know about these things that happen on the inside. You don't see this. We see it. And we're able to evaluate the DSOs in ways that you as a seller don't, because you're inundated with all these people calling you to buy your practice, and they tell you how great they are. But it's not until you go through things like we just went through with these two companies that we could say that they have the integrity, they have the backbone, and that's who you want on your team after you sell. And these are really important things. We have the ability to help you with that. Again, if you're selling to a DSO, we don't charge a commission. So it doesn't hurt you, and we'll often get your legal fees reimbursed at closing. So give us a call, 201-663-0935. We can help you navigate these waters working with the DSOs because it could be rather challenging. And we have the knowledge, we have the experience of working with them, and we know what it's like. All right? So call us, and we look forward to hearing you. Thank you very much. Going to a big wedding today. It's going to be great. Big family party. Bye now.